All right, grasshoppers. Yes, again, the most listened to hour in the world on the World Wide Web. The great Rich Gabberty. How you doing there, brother?
I'm fantastic, Tom. How you doing, man?
So just so everybody knows, if you haven't seen the show, Rich and I met many years ago coaching hockey with Westchester Mariners. Fantastic man. Did a lot of obviously coaching was great. Well, he kind of sucked as a coach, but he was great. He was great with the kids.
My skating isn't good. Stop.
No, that's right. That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
He actually is a fantastic coach, but what he's really famous for in my mind is how he cared about the kids and really wanted to make them better people too. So pleasure to have you on. We both kind of living in the same world now, the mental health world, the life coach, motivational world. What's going on?
Oh, it's wellness. It's wellness, yeah, fitness, and health. Like that. Yes, it's the wellness industry. Really, we're into wellness, and a part of wellness is spirituality, fitness, and mental health.
Yeah, definitely.
If you work on those things, you're in pretty good shape.
I know. So I know we got to talk about some other stuff here, but so this no air conditioning has become like Kevin Allen and I are fantastic friends, and we do the show together on Monday and Wednesday. Kevin Allen used to write with USA Today. He was the head of the Professional Hockey Writers Association. Fantastic guy. I have a ton of respect for him. But we live different lives. Politically, we're different. So it's funny because we don't really have much in common of our beliefs, but we're fantastic friends and respect each other. So we get discussing the no air conditioning thing that I'm going with. So I'm trying to explain to him that, listen, the more you get yourself out of your comfort zone, the stronger you become. You have more discipline. You know, when things do happen to you, then you're used to it because you push yourself to get out of there, get out of your comfort zone. And he says, yeah, but it's just stupid. I just don't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Barely he talks to his friends about it and they go, what? I don't know how you are. To me, I just don't even think it's that big of a deal. Like
I think it's hilarious, Tom. I think it's great. If you want to do it, in other words, you're not holding anybody hostage.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it's not like you're waking up and you're lighting up a cigarette and forcing somebody to like put whatever, whiskey in your coffee or something like that, right? And being abusive. No, nobody's there. Nobody wants to go there. Nobody's nobody's there. The dogs are barking in your neighborhood, right? The little Shih Tzus or whatever they call them, French poodles. We love dogs, by the way, everybody. Please, love dogs.
It's funny. So two things to that. He did bring up a good point. He did say, listen, Tom, what if you influence some person that shouldn't be living like that? Maybe they're older or they're immune compromised or something. I said, you know what? This is a good point. I want to make sure I say to people, listen, if you've got any kind of health problems, don't do this because I'm doing it. I want to influence you. And secondly, I had a buddy of mine who always helped me with he's a very creative guy. He used to work for Nickelodeon and everything. And he was helping me set up some stuff here. And he's here for about 15 minutes. He goes, you're really serious about this no air conditioning thing, aren't you?
Oh, sure. If you're doing manual labor, if you're putting things up or taking things down or even trying to think, probably, you're going to sweat there, right? But you have you have windows open and stuff.
Yeah, windows open. Yeah.
Sure. What about fans? Fans are illegal.
I have one fan and I bring it to bed with me. So now it's getting cool enough now too, where it's fine. It's not.
What are we at now? About 80 degrees up there? And at night, 60 at night, 80.
62 this morning when I got up. So it's dropped down there where it's comfortable and no, not as much humidity either. So
yeah. So we're about a month away from finding friendship and all of that stuff. And at that point, then you know what? And the way I think about it, I'm really strategically planning this out for you. I'm putting it out into the universe. So you're going to meet in October, and there'll be nice that stage of excitement and all of that, and then it's going to start to get even cooler, and that's when you decide to go out on the porch, right?
Yep.
Your backyard, and sit there and brave the elements.
Yep.
While your friend will be inside.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Makes sense,
I do sit outside during the winter too. It's a classic. I get all bundled up. I got the little space heater out there. Put the TV out there, watch football, all that kind of stuff. Oh,
I don't blame you. Why bundle up though? I mean, what kind of a test is that?
Well, it gets a little crisp.
Then you could be that Hoff guy, the Iceman. Now, remember, check your email because I sent you. We talk about this every show, right?
Yeah.
So you got Hooverman now, Dr. Hooverman, who's the neuroscientist from Stanford University, the head of the department. He now is giving us input and tips on so many different things, including getting out as soon as you wake up. Within a half hour, get outside for 10 minutes and reset your clock. Make sure you got your clock going, okay? So
sorry to interrupt you on that. Yep. So resetting the clock. So that's the idea. You get up in the morning and you stand in front of the sun, right? You soak it in. You're resetting the clock.
You get out in sunlight. You get out into your sunlight. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. and he's much more eloquent because he's a scientist. I'm just a guy from the Bronx. But so you got him. Then I sent you also Joe Dispenza. Okay, so Joe Dispenza, and I believe it's the interview where he explains how the police officer was in his way, and he made a right instead of a left on his bicycle, and he got macked by a semi truck and was paralyzed, and it broke and shattered some stuff. He explains it in this interview, so that way you know it firsthand from him. And then the next guy is Wilm Hoff, and I probably screwed that up again, but his last name is Hoff, and he's the Iceman. And this is the guy.
Huberman, that's him.
Yeah, Hooverman is the doctor. Yep,
okay,
yep. And then Hoff, okay, is the guy, the Iceman, and he is the one who, through breathing, he'll sit like 2 minutes in freezing cold in a lake. He'll jump into a lake and stay in there 2 minutes underwater.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So but you have to watch them. These are guys that are pretty fascinating to me anyway. So there you go with those. There's your three there.
We're pretty fascinating ourselves and the stuff.
Wow, no, fascinating. Not compared to these guys. But I'll tell you. Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me just congratulate you for your weekend endeavors. All right. Yonkers went okay. Mayor Spano wasn't there.
Mayor Spano was not there. There wasn't the head of the superintendent of schools was there.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So that looked like a nice event. I think you were playing, not you, but there were some people playing floorball.
Yeah. So what we did was to all the teachers, the phys ed teachers in the Yonkers School District met at that one school, and your little buddy Pete Giantempo ran the clinic. So we were basically showing them how to play ball hockey and some of the pointers about coaching a little bit. So yeah, it was a fun event. The teachers were a lot of fun. When we get a little game going, and the teachers were fired up. They're going at it pretty hard. A couple of them very competitive still. Yeah.
And you got those plastic the floorball sticks, right? Those are fun.
Yeah. The ones that Mike Benelli, I think.
Benelli brings him into the country, and then he takes the wrappers off and he puts his own on there.
Right. So the Rangers, exactly. So the Rangers are going to donate all the equipment, nets, sticks, balls, and everything for that district. Smart move by the Rangers. It really builds that goodwill. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good.
I mean, what they're doing is they're ensuring their fan base for years to come because they're saturating the area. And come to think of it, the Islanders and the Devils are doing it too. I mean, the tri-state area really goes after all three teams. Obviously, the Rangers have the stronghold. But yeah, it's a great idea. And the floorball is a great idea also because that can be played by kids in inner cities.
Well, that's ice isn't available. Yeah, I've done a couple of clinics in inner city schools, and it's fascinating because the kids first get there and they're like, "What is going on?" And they're kind of timid, maybe a little bit, but by the time it's done, the kids got a full sweat going. They're going at it hard and have fun. And what I like it is too. You want to teach them a little bit of stuff, but don't over teach the game. It's more like have some passion, have some fun, go chase the ball around.
Yeah, that's all. Just make it semi-competitive, and what you want to teach them is not to hit anybody with the stick, huh?
Exactly. Good. That is very good. Pete, our little buddy Pete is very good with that. To teach the teachers to say, listen, the stick. If they lift the stick beyond the shoulders, they should be thrown like go sit down someplace.
Yeah, out of frustration because they can't hit a ball. But and in Europe, that's really played though. That's like they have like professional leagues or something like that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's where a lot of the European players they learned how to lift the ball or whatever. There's supposedly a lot of eye-hand coordination that they carried over to the ice and succeeded with. Now, so that was Friday. Then Saturday, all I can tell you is that I remember waking up Saturday and thinking, man, this guy's going to hit a lot of traffic going out to Superior ice rink on the LIE about exit 63 or whatever it is. Yeah. And how was the traffic? What was the story?
I was surprised. It was about an hour and 10 minutes getting out there. It was Kingsbridge, New York. So about a 50-mile drive. And then coming home, it was about an hour. There's no traffic at all. I was with you. I was surprised. So I got there. I made sure if I got there, I'm going to have as much fun as possible when I was there. So
yeah, you did. And so then I saw you went into one of those dunk tanks.
Yeah. So they put on a fantastic thing. It was that's awful. I can't remember. Silver Lining. There's a charity, I think, or God, it's terrible. I'll get it and I'll post it again. But a fantastic charity. The family was there. They run it. So the rink there, they basically donated the rink for the day. The local hockey program just had like a fun day where all the kids got to play a lot. And then they had a fair outside. So I was inside the rink most of the time. I was going back and forth on the benches, talking to coaches, talking to kids and everything, trying to, get so everybody, I talked to everybody there. Then I went outside. I was actually going to buy a hamburger, and I thought, well, geez, I guess I'll just get the burger and not the bun. Be healthy and everything. And there's actually a woman there selling a very healthy burger. I'm going to have her on a show. I think she's all these vegetarian burgers and everything. So I had one of those, and then I saw that there was a dunk tank there. I was like a little kid. I was like, "Can I go on? Can I go on?" I'm asking like this, and they're going, "Yeah." So it became a big deal. They gave me a pair of shorts from the sports shop there in the rink. And they were making announcements that I was there. So I was antagonizing the kids too. I said, "Come on, that's all you got. Come on, let's go get some more." So they were fired up, and the dads and moms were cheering on the kids, trying to get me. So they got me a couple times with the water. It was a blast. It was a really good time. Yeah.
Wow. So that's that no air conditioning. That's the result of that. Now, does that mean also you're using water at your house, right?
Yes, we use water.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you haven't shut the water off.
We do finish the shower with the cold shower though. Okay.
The cold shower. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. The Hoff's Iceman routine there. Yeah,
yes,
beautiful.
That's right.
But the shower is much needed though, because then you actually probably didn't dry if you got in your car and you drove back with the windows down.
Yeah, but windows are down, so it's cool enough when the windows are down that it's you're okay. I think I told you that I did have one trip out there, and I had to get on the phone, and it was a hot day too. So I've got the speaker phones on the car, and so I had to put the windows up, and man, it was toasty. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's a good time. And so Sunday then what'd you cook? What was the deal there? I missed that one.
What did I cook? Oh, my menu on Sunday was it was all in the air fryer. Oh, a whole chicken. They're removing the rain gutters here at my place here. So they're ready.
Oh yeah, no, you can't hear a thing. It's just like that sounds like there's an elephant that's like having breathing problems.
We did the whole chicken in the air fryer. And then we made I made mashed potatoes and caramelized carrots too. Oh, nice.
Wow. Fancy.
Yeah.
So this is it. And then Labor Day, what happened there?
Labor Day, what did we do? Nobody was around. My son actually, and he'd gone to Israel. My oldest son. I think my youngest son was away too. I didn't do a whole lot. I just relaxed. Because we had a pretty full weekend. Yeah. And then you've got me going more doing videos and stuff too. So I'm busy.
You could spend the whole day doing the videos, right?
Yes.
It's fun. It's addictive.
It really is. It's very true. Very addictive.
Yeah.
I find it very motivating too, because I'm trying to make it like the motivating music, the pictures, the videos, all be motivating in the gym more. No, they're good. Actually, be getting better workouts too. So thank you very much.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. Yeah. No, it's working, and you're making better videos, and that Splice app is a good app, right? It's good stuff. And the good thing about it is you get all songs that aren't copyrighted. So
definitely.
By doing that, nobody's mad.
You have a big weekend? Or?
Yeah, I burnt myself. I basically by mistake, because I forgot to put sunblock on, and I love to kayak around here, so I really got into a kayak a couple of days there, and I burnt myself. I burnt my nose like a real amateur. And it was nice though. I just like going out there and finding the dolphins, and I didn't find as many as I usually do. One time I found a pod. There was probably about 35 of them around me. I think I told you. This time though, 2s and 3s, and
wow.
I guess a lot of them went someplace for a Labor Day weekend. They might have went up to Tampa or something like that, But yeah, so it was good. It was fun, and you know what? I do the same thing I always do, and that's try to see sunrise, sunset, get out, exercise, and just eat healthy and talk to people. Dory and I continue to throw the Wellness Connect together, and that's looking pretty good. And that's
Dory jumped in here too. She's
did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh,
Dory, I play field hockey. This is what I can't imagine. Not as exciting as being on the ice. Well, for little kids, it's a good point. Little kids get pretty excited. It is pretty standard though. Once you're showing it to the little kids the first time they've done it, they're a little bit timid. They aren't chasing the ball around. By the time they're done though, man, they're into it. They've got, like I said, they've got the full sweat going, chasing the ball around. Yeah, they're good.
Oh, we learned a new thing about Dory. I didn't know she played field hockey. You ever watch field hockey, women's field hockey, Tom?
Yes, I have. Yeah, that's a tough sport,
right?
Yeah,
it's tough. Yeah, but every time it starts to get exciting, like you think that there's like a breakaway or something, they blow the whistle for some reason, like somebody was ahead of somebody else or whatever. It's like
is that what it is? Okay.
Extra bit of technicality to it. That just it makes it tough. Too many whistles. But
what do you think is the toughest sport out there? Rugby, or I think that's one of the toughest sports out there. Rugby, no pads.
I mean, once you take MMA out of the equation, right? You know what I'm saying? So I defer to those guys. Anytime like the guy's on the floor and you're still pounding him,
I know. Oh,
that's a tough, right? That's a tough one.
that's a vicious sport.
That,
Yeah.
that doesn't work. That doesn't work in hockey. You know what I'm saying? And although you see less and less of guys. There was some times back in your day where guys would still take 1 or 2 shots, you know, as the guys
They
down.
talk about the code amongst fighters. Like there's some code. Yeah, the code is to beat the crap out of the other guy as much as you can. That's the code. Although there was guys like, it just depended. There's some guys that would, I guess they hated the other guy enough and they got really mad. If he fell down, they'd still go after him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I talked to a couple. Obviously, you know it better than I do. But yeah, there seem to have been some slight rules.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear stories. You hear stories about the 2 guys about to fight because they had to, let's say, and the guy says, "What shoulders hurts? My left shoulder's the one."
Yeah.
And then so the guy throws bombs on the right one or something like that. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's
a great video of George Laraque. He's mic'd up during the game. I think he was playing for Arizona or Edmonton or vice versa. I can't remember. And the other guy that he was going to fight, and Laraque was this big man, probably the toughest guy in the league at that point when he was playing. And he's very calm, polite. He's this gentle giant almost. And he walks over to the guy. He says, "So would like to go?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." I can hear the other guy going, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, good luck." And they lean down and drop the gloves and beat the crap out of each other. Yeah.
That's I think that's less and less now in the game, huh?
Yeah. Back then, a guy like George Laraque, he had a job to do, right? And that was try to intimidate the other team, show everybody that he was going to be the toughest guy on the block. But that kind of hockey's gone now. There's really the intimidation part of the game. It's different. And then Trouba is now going to be the captain for the Rangers. He was really good during the playoffs. There's a couple of times when somebody would take a cheap shot against one of his guys, and he would wait till the next game and make sure he did it legally, but he'd come and just hammer the guy to really see. That was the way of sending the message there, instead of taking a 5-minute penalty for fighting. And he's good at it. Yeah.
Now, how do you deal with normal life after you? So you're playing in the NHL, you're in it for 11 years or however many years, right? And then next thing you know, you're at a traffic light and somebody's honking the horn behind you saying, "Move, you moron." That's
a great question.
Yep.
Great question. So when you first get done playing, first of all, the code is in the NHL, and this is most people really believe in this code. And we played, if you fought on the ice at all, or even if you just played in the NHL, you don't get in fights off the ice. You do everything you can to avoid it. It's a bad look. So I think you probably more control because you don't want yourself drawn into that kind of situation. It is funny though, myself and some other guys, when they retired, they'd wait a few years and then they would start playing men's league hockey.
Oh.
So we get it. So we go there thinking, we're just going to have some fun. Inevitably you snap and you get in fights and stuff like that. And then guys are all the same. Then we just say, "That's it. I'm not playing anymore. It's I just can't do it anymore." But you do get, I've gone through times where it's ups and downs with the whole road rage thing. I've had times where I've had to really say, "Tom, smarten up." Although now I think with this new life that we've got going, just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I'm leaving Todd's Point in the morning for my morning march, and I'm driving the speed limit through this town, Old Greenwich, and there's 4 kids in a car are tailgating me. Like they want to go faster than the speed limit, and they know that I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and they're giving me the finger and all this kinds of stuff. And I was kind of laughing at myself, like, wow, I'm not even getting mad. Like I'm getting under control. They pass me going around the yellow line, and they give me the finger and honk the whole bit. And I'm just, guys, ain't happening. Yeah, but that's, before I would have either done something or really got to the point where I had to control myself, and I didn't even get going at all. It was funny.
I remember when we met in the early 2000s, and we were skating around in warm-ups. You and I were skating around Playland. You said, "Oh, and you were reminiscing about when you skated there professionally." And anyway, you said, I can't even play men's league anymore. I think you might have went up to we're somewhere in Connecticut, and it was like a checking league or something like that, right? And somebody was maybe took a shot on you that was unnecessary.
So one game was a famous game. They did something to me, so I smoked one guy. Another guy comes in, I smoked him. Another one comes in. Now they may have been falling down a little bit easier than they should have, but either way, I was fighting like 3 guys. And so the game gets over. About 2 weeks later, we're playing the same team, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm an idiot. So I go up. I get the 3 guys together. I said, "Listen, I apologize. I should not be acting like that." And they go, "Oh no, Mr. Laidlaw, it was great. We went home and told all our friends that you were beating us up. It was great."
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds good. I think
that's
that,
not
that
that's not the real world, is it? Right?
I
Thank
know.
you very much. That was a lot of fun. I told my wife I just
Yeah,
get beat up. Yeah.
exactly.
Good stuff.
What you know? What you follow Jocko Willink and all the former SEAL? You follow any stuff he does?
Yes. Yes.
He's really been big lately on talking about discipline is freedom. And I've seen a few videos where he's really pushing the whole discipline thing, which I have tons of respect for him with what he did and what he's doing now.
Mhm.
He's very interesting. He's saying how, like, discipline, without discipline, you really, I mean, you can be motivated, but motivation comes and goes, but you can always have discipline. Do you believe in that you can always be disciplined?
I believe you could always be something. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I think that you could train yourself to have a routine, and that really is discipline. But as far as discipline goes, yeah, discipline is great, and without discipline, you have nothing. So without discipline, you don't have a routine. Without discipline,
Yeah.
you don't know how not to engage with stuff. So without discipline, you don't know to go back to positivity, even when you encounter negativity, or the discipline to find the good in every day, no matter what happens.
Right.
I really can't speak for a Navy SEAL, because those guys are just next level, right? I admire their dedication to their craft, because it's truly a craft. Their lifestyle is truly a lifestyle. The dedication to the country, because no matter who's in office, they're going to save people. So I admire everything about those fellas, and he's very, very eloquent when he explains stuff. It's understandable. It's to the point. It's very to the point. So yeah, I mean, he's fantastic as far as that goes. He's the guy that I listen to the most. They're all great, but he's the guy I listen to the most. And then after that, and I always mistake the name, but the other people that I like to listen to is Hooverman, Dr. Hooverman, and that's the fellow we talk about with resetting the clock.
Right.
I think he talks about testosterone and supplements, legal supplements that people either should or shouldn't take, depending on their age group and whatnot. So he's very good about that, and actually a lot of other things, because he's a neuroscientist.
Right.
So neuroscientist, he's the head of neuroscience, and he's a professor at Stanford. And he also is, I believe, an ophthalmologist. So he's the guy who gives me, or that I got the input on making sure you get out early in the morning, like we talked about earlier and on the last show. And then the other guy that you and I always talk about is Joe Dispenza. Because that guy is fascinating. His story is fascinating. So I like to listen to people like that, that are going to teach me something. I want to learn something every day.
Yeah, isn't that the key, right? I mean, it's great I've listened to some motivational speakers, and I listen to just a different style, but they get up and it's swearing, F this and F that.
I know who you mean about that. Yeah.
But it's more like, to me, we're the same way in that you want to teach people things. Like, it's easy to say, well, geez, you need to get up. Well, okay, I know I need to get up. Like, teach me how. If I'm having a hard time getting up in the morning, how do I do that? How do I discipline myself, right?
Yeah, and it's the whole 24-hour thing, because if you're having a hard time getting up, what time do you go to sleep?
Yeah.
And how'd you go to sleep?
Right.
Did you have caffeine before you went to sleep? Right. Are the blue lights on in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Because the blue lights they're gonna keep you up. Things like that. There's studies also. I just listen to all of that stuff, and keep your room at about 68, 69 degrees, which obviously you can't do right now. Yeah. But once it gets cooler, you should keep it cool in your room. You really should keep it cool, and that's very healthy. And then Hooverman, and I haven't had a chance to really listen to it in detail, but Hooverman talks about something about your body temperature 2 hours before you wake up, or something like that. And whatever that's about, I just started to listen to that, because he talks, if you go on YouTube, some of his dissertations are 2 hours long. So it's hard for me to sit anywhere for 2 hours. So I got to watch it in chunks, But each 15, but I got to tell you, don't let that turn you off, because he does have some that are like maybe 10 minutes or 8 minutes. Or what I do is I watch those 2 hour ones, and I break them up into like 15-minute segments.
Sure.
Yes, but he's really good, because I like anything to do with the science of it.
So you're a big believer in the science of sleep, right? How important sleep is for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I am too. I shouldn't say it that way. Like, like a surprise. I am as well. It's just that, like, last night I went to sleep earlier. I was kind of tired. Like, I went to sleep around 9:30. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, when I go to
Right.
sleep at 11 o'clock, it's like my clock seems to be like that 11 o'clock, get up at 3:30 kind of thing. And I'm fine during the day at 4.5 hours. But again, I want to be careful. I don't want to influence people and say that's because I do
Right.
believe in the sleep that you should get your sleep, but
But you never take a nap.
rarely.
Rarely.
Yeah. And even if I do take a nap, it'd be like a 20-minute nap. And not because I get myself up, that's it. Yeah.
But that's all you're supposed to sleep, 20 minutes, they say.
Yeah.
That's all you're supposed to sleep. Like even, if you're going to take a nap, you take a 20-minute nap and it revitalizes you. They have actually in major cities or across the country, whatever, they have these like sleep pods or something like that. The actual like spas, you can go and take a nap.
Sure.
And it's in a controlled environment. I think that actually some of them you're in like a cocoon or something, some contraption that helps you sleep, and you just take a nap. I know that when I have the ability to, when I get past all the BS about, oh my God, I'm taking a nap during the middle of the day, I'm really lazy or this or that. But when I do it, I wake up 20 minutes later, I feel refreshed. So
Yeah.
it's whatever it takes, Tom, whatever it takes to feel good.
Yeah.
Legally, right? Legally. I'm not talking about taking drugs or alcohol, because that's just that's an anesthetic, let's say. You know what I mean? Anything health related, I think that's where it's at.
I agree. You got to know yourself, right? It's again, and I mean this in a good way because I know there's other people out there. We got our buddy Brendan Duffy, who puts a lot of work. That's his field. He's a sleep expert.
Yep.
So I don't want to discredit any of that stuff, but I think it's also what works for you, right? I mean, do you need your 8 hours? Can you survive off 4.5, 5 hours? Part of the thing is for me, I just learned more and more from people like yourself, Mark Putman, everybody, the girls, the women I do the hypnotist shows with, Jackie and Kathleen. I feel like I just get myself so motivated now. I think I'm in so much more control of my subconscious mind. Where like I get up in the morning, I may flip through the computer to see what's happened in the news, but then I turn on the motivational stuff, like some of these reels that are out there, some of the music they put to us. Like before you go to the gym, it's like you're fired up, and now you have a great workout at the gym. The adrenaline's pumping through you. You go to the march, you get out in front of the sun. I just feel like I'm so motivated for my world that sleep is almost like it's getting in my way a little bit.
No, you got to sleep a little bit.
Yes, you do.
You have to sleep. You have to sleep a little bit. I mean, as far as that goes. But the 8 hours, like I'm not to the point where like I time my sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going crazy about that. No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm not doing that. Right. I generally fall asleep when I pass out. Not because I'm drinking, because that's not the case, but I pass out from an exhaustion, because from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep, I'm doing something. Whatever it is, I'm doing something. And but generally that happens if I'm tired and fall asleep at 7:30. Well, that's unusual. Usually the sun goes down first. So the sun goes down, and shortly thereafter, at some point, something I watch puts me to sleep, and I pass out. As far as that goes, and then I wake up. And as I told you in the past, now all of a sudden I'm starting in the 3 o'clock hours to wake up, and that's a disaster. Hold on, Dr. Jack. A goal for so many to be awake when we're awake. Good point.
Yeah, be awake.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent point, right? It's like going to the gym. Some people say like go to the gym. Well, are you really working out though, right? So if you're awake, there's a difference between just being awake and sitting on the couch doing nothing, as opposed to living your life, right?
Yeah, you got to live your life. You got to get up and you have to get out. I feel that's something I would suggest. Just get up, get out, and keep moving. You got to move at a minimum 3 times a week if you want to feel better. If you want to complain about life, well, that's easy. There's plenty of things to complain about. But otherwise, I mean, if you want to enjoy life, well, get up and get out. And look, the science behind it is 3 days a week, 30 minutes a day. That's not that much, right? Yep. Get your body moving. It's going to bring up your mental, spiritual, physical, everything, and you're going to feel much better if you do that. As far as that goes, and then the other thing is, wake up in the morning and just be grateful you woke up. Find something, right?
Yeah, don't put the news on. Don't put the news on with all like crappy news and everything.
No.
They read the news so you know what's going on, but it's like your research. You're not getting somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So that just. And like you said, listening to, for me, YouTube is a wealth. Besides our show here on Thursdays, that everybody should see this in reruns. Anyway, but besides that, and while we're at it, by the way, here, look, Tom, since we haven't done anything yet, I made this.
I was going to say something.
I went to the printer. Okay, you happy here?
I was going to say something about your HP sign there, because
well, there you go. There it is. Okay, here, look, that's about. that's about as 1980 as you can get. Okay. And it's a dry erase marker, by the way. So yeah, it's a dry erase. Yeah. So subscribe to the True Grit Life. Anyway, so but it's you know, it's a little disconcerting for me. It's
we got to cover up that HP there. What do you
we got to do that. I know. I hear you. I don't have nothing for it. I know they're not paying us. That's the problem. But I'll put it back every once in a while. All right. So long story short, the bottom line is that subscribe to the True Grit channel, and also, just so you know, Tom Laidlaw is also on TikTok now. Obviously, right. Coach Rich G is on TikTok, and I'm kind of forcing Tom to be on TikTok and believe that it could work and everything and get out there. So follow him on TikTok. All right. And on TikTok, you're Tom Laidlaw 2, right? Okay.
It's just Tom Laidlaw. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's 2 though. The number 2, because for some reason there's a couple of Laidlaws out there. So we got that on. I know you gotta talk to them. Right. Anyway, so you got that, then you're on Instagram. Obviously you're on Facebook as Tom Laidlaw. Okay. So you got that. Although I think you're pretty booked up over there. I think you might have like the limit. So, you know, folks, you're only gonna be able to follow him. We apologize. Mm-hmm. And in Instagram on your real Tom Laidlaw, is
real Tom Laidlaw, yes. My youngest son Cody gave me that name again. There was already a Tom Laidlaw there. So
yep. And so everybody knows we're working on the blue check mark.
That's right too. Yeah, that's true. I mean, need somebody's advice on that. I've applied like 3 times for the blue check mark. They didn't bother getting back to me this time. Maybe I did something wrong. So, okay, but to be clear, you're on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, I'm on.
You're Coach G?
Yeah, no, everything is. I'm Coach Rich G. I got that from Gary V. I like Gary V. I think he's real simple the way he explains everything, and he's from Philadelphia. He knows, friends of mine that know him. Oh. And he's he started wine.com, WINE.
Did he start
his folks had a liquor store.
Didn't he start an agent business too? No, that's right. He was doing the liquor store before he got famous, right? Oh.
Yeah, he was working his father's liquor store before he got famous, and then he started wine.com, and that took off, and then now he does his whole thing, and his goal in life is to buy the New York Jets.
Oh, is that right? And he got in the agent business too, right?
He did in some capacity. And I don't know how that's going, but I believe he did. Yes. And he's an interesting character. Bottom line, he's an interesting character. He's got great videos. He does something like this year. He rented out where the Vikings play in Minnesota, the stadium, and he had VCOM, VEECON. So he's got a bunch of followers. He's doing very well, and the message is very simple. Just don't go crazy. Like, in other words, if you're a kid, you haven't figured it out, guess what? You're a kid. Like if you're 20, if you're 20 something, you're a kid. You haven't figured it out. Who cares?
I know he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first to really utilize social media to spread his word, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was the first to do that. Certainly one of the first. Yeah. And then he was also one of the first to bring on people to help him prepare. Like he films all his own content. Then some people maybe cut it up or whatever. But then he actively is the one who picks, use this, use that. He still does that. And I saw that on an interview very recently.
How do you say his last name? Gary Vaynerchuk?
I believe it's Vaynerchuk.
Vaynerchuk.
But you and I have abused everybody until we get corrected. Until we get corrected. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I mean, look, it's all of that stuff. Okay. Look, education is power, right? Knowledge is power. Education is power, right? The science of Kaizen, which is the art of continual learning. I'm trying to learn every day, and I think the bottom line is, no matter how old you get, if you think you know it all, you know what? You're shortchanging yourself.
That's right. Nobody will ever know everything, because things are changing all the time too. We learn new things all the time. Yeah. About our universe, about the planet, we always learn new things. Yeah. I saw a show. Joe Rogan had a guest on probably a couple of years ago, scientist, and talking about how people say, well, geez, before eggs were no good for you, now they are good for you, all this different kinds of stuff. He's explaining. He said, listen, because of the ice melting, I think it was in Iceland, they found this crater that was like 18 miles wide that they didn't know was there before, but now all of a sudden they found it because the ice melted. So that's a new thing. It doesn't it wasn't like we were wrong before there was no crater. We just learned something new. So we use that as an example of that we're always learning new things. So we'll never know. And you always want to get better too. Like, to say you're perfect if you want to say you're perfect, you'll never be perfect because you want to get better every day.
No, better is the new perfect.
Yeah.
Buy the shirts at my website.
There you go. You know what else is true too? Like even like for your diet, like I'm trying to finish up our book here, and one of the things you're going to put in the book is my weekly diet. And it was interesting how much I've learned about foods. Or even talking to somebody the other day, and they said, "What's he saying? Not losing weight. I'm working out pretty good, and my diet's pretty good." I said, "So what do you eat?" And he said, "Well, I had a hot dog the other day," and I go, "That's possibly the worst food you could ever eat for yourself. It's a hot dog.
That's nitrates in that and whatnot, right?"
Yeah. But I think it's just, I would have eaten hot dogs before, but now I've educated myself more about food. So I realized, no, I'm not putting that thing in my body.
Yeah, like my filtered water here.
You got filtered water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the reason why is Gaia TV, GAIA.com. Okay. I'm going to buy that for your birthday when April comes around because you're not going to buy it by April 15th. But anyway, I got to get you that somehow. Or I could add it. Maybe I could add a subscription onto mine.
There you go.
You could just log in because you'll read all about the power of water and everything about water. You will drink filtered water like I do.
Oh, really? Like filtered water is much better than just regular tap water?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
See,
you know what's in the tap water? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like first off, and you're living in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like Flint, Michigan, where they flat out have lead and whatnot. How about I think it's Camp Lejeune in South Carolina?
Yes, I hear all the advertisements all the time for that.
Did you hear about that? If you worked there and you drank the water, you basically better go get checked out because there was like toxins. There was a tremendous amount of toxins in the water. So you really got to watch. I mean, look in like places in Africa and overseas where even India, they have big problems with the water supply. You can't drink it. You flat out can't have any. So what do they do? Because you need water. You should have about 2 liters a day of water.
That's a great deal. Growing up at a farm, we had our own well and everything. So I mean, it was hard water, so there's a lot of minerals in it, but I don't think that's bad for you necessarily, right? The minerals are actually good for you.
I would hope so. Yeah, I think so. It's certainly better than pesticides or something from that.
Did I tell you my father's a water witch? Did I ever tell you that stuff?
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, that's right.
We talked about it last week, and I mean that's amazing how that even happened.
Like how does he find out that he's a water witch? Like does he pick up a stick one day and all of a sudden he's finding water? But I never thought to ask him that. Maybe we'll get, what's her name? Is it April?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to get April to ask.
Oh, April the medium. Yeah, we got to get April. Well, she's got to come on too. That would be a good one. She could actually read. She could she does the things over the phone. Right. She does sessions with people over the phone. So we have to figure out how to utilize that. We have April. We have the
Dory
hypnotist. You got Dory. Forget it. You're really striking out with her, bud. Because you should just do the breath work. It's a good deal.
I have sent the email. It's Dory's fault. I've sent the email to her. Clearly, let's scare her. She better be listening here. So I'm not.
Oh my God! No, she
for weeks.
I think she's got a 10:30 session in September. She's doing a bunch of sessions. But she's good. She really is. She's very good. And
that's right. We covered all this last week. All the things we got to get done. I got to get on that.
Well, I've been doing it. Listen, I've been doing this stuff. I love it. I think it's great. The breath work works. It does work. Okay. Right. Guided meditation works. It really does. I mean, I don't know what to tell anybody. I don't care what they think. It's working for me. What do you got? Who's sending you a message here?
Barry Shelley. Barry, I don't know if I've introduced you to Barry. Barry's a fantastic guy, veteran, and super guy. Just started on TV as some in Queen Elizabeth's family.
Oh,
Queen
God
Elizabeth.
Bless.
Wow, she's still active too, right?
Yeah, she God bless her, huh? That's something else. Well, that's too bad.
Okay, hold on. We get the confrontation.
Oh, here we go.
I sent you all of the info to sign up, Tom.
Okay,
Dory.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you on that a little bit. I'll go back and look at my email.
Oh my God.
Dory and I, we don't even know each other yet. We're like,
it sounds like something's going on here. I don't know. Sound like two teenagers, man. Oh God. Yeah. So she sent you all the information. Believe me, I'm sure
she did. Yes, she did. Now I remember the whole calendar thing. She's correct. I apologize, Dory. You are correct. Get on my calendar. Yes.
Yeah. It's easy to get on.
I was kind of hoping for a little special treatment, but that's fine.
Well, that is special treatment. You're not paying for it, bud.
Okay.
I've been telling you this. Just do it, and then for September, sign up. You're gonna like it. 45 minutes. of breathing.
Breathing. Okay. I actually do believe that breathing. Not breathing. I do believe in breathing too. That's another stuff.
We're going off the air. Okay, go ahead. Breathing.
I do believe in the breathing. Yes, I realized that. I think I told you a story when I was going on Survivor. The trainer was, I would do he could get me to, I would get a poem and memorize the poem and be able to recite it verbatim. And then he would get my heart rate elevated in some way, and then I couldn't recite the poem again. So I really learned. Yeah.
And that's where the expression is, I got rattled.
I get rattled. Yes. And then
right. You got rattled.
Yeah,
he rattled you.
Right. Okay. So how do you stop that from happening, Tom? Well, the breathing was the way to stop it. Yeah.
Did they show you with the 2 quick short inhales and 1 exhale? Like, one of those deals. Yeah.
Is that what Dory will teach us?
She'll teach a bunch of stuff with breathing. Yes, absolutely.
So for everybody else,
through September, look at it. Through September, it's free, as many sessions as you like. So she's doing that for even the viewers. Okay. None of the knuckleheads, obviously.
So how do we get a hold of Dory?
On the calendar, she's going to put up there. If she is still on, she could put her website maybe up there, or we'll put in the show notes.
Right. Perfect. All right, Dory.
But anyway, so for September. So Diane, if you want Diane in the studio, if she wants breath work, we're going to give her the information too, because usually they're $150 sessions. So
it's all right.
That was nice, but it's no joke, and she's fully certified.
Good.
Like you and I are certified.
Is it breathing certification? You get a breathing certification?
Well, what do you think? Like, just somebody decides, like, I'm going to help you breathe, and then they open a store up? No, she actually went to months of schooling to get certification.
Very cool.
Well, that's what you want. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'm learning new things all the time. I've learned to learn. I'm learning about the hypnotism, about the breathing. Yeah.
I mean, look, there's certified. So far, we have certified Deepak Chopra meditation coach. Certified by Deepak Chopra.
Right.
You ever hear of him? You know who he is?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, Deepak. Yeah.
Deepak.
He's a rapper too, isn't he? A rapper?
No, that was Tupac, but I get it. No, that's Tupac. Yeah, California Love and all of that. Yeah, I missed Tupac. He was great. Anyway, he definitely had like a nice way about him with the way he melded the anger into love and everything else back and forth. So I related to that. But no, Deepak, not to be confused with Tupac. Yeah. Chopra. Three-pack. Yeah. Anyway, so now we have rappers made of this. That's awesome. Way to go. All right. Anyway, yeah. So we have that, and then Dory with the breath work. She's a breath work facilitator. Let's not screw that up again.
Exactly.
Okay.
I wrote that down.
Thank you. And then you have our hypnotist, right? The hypnotist is going to hypnotize you. Jackie's going to straighten you out. Yep. And then April, and we have to figure out the order of this on one of these shows. But anyway, and then you're going to talk to heaven.
That's right.
With April Natali. Yep.
I need to talk to my father. There's some questions I have for him.
And April Natali, hold on, 6 months. Oh, now it's intense studying.
Intense studying, not just studying, but intense.
Yes, intense. Well, she doesn't do anything that's not intense. All right. And trauma. So on the serious side, trauma-informed breathwork facilitator. Oh. So this also could be used by people that have experienced trauma, PTSD, whatever they might have gone through in life. That, Dory's going to help you with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the trauma of you having to deal with me probably is one of the.
Oh, that's traumatic.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough. Yeah,
I need to get hypnotized.
To forget me. There you go. Good stuff.
We were talking before the show too. So I think it's the same with your diet, the same with your mental outlook on life. So if you're eating all good foods, then you go eat like a hot dog or a cheeseburger or something, you feel terrible, right?
Yep.
You can tell the difference. Same thing with having people around. Like if you're a real positive person, and then you get around somebody that's got that negative vibe going, it's just, you realize, oh God, I realize even more now the difference, and I don't want to be around that negative outlook either.
Yeah, there's no reason to. There's no reason really to be negative or to express it so drastically. I mean, somebody could be upset, somebody could be emotional, but the negativity of it's going to be like this the rest of your life type of deal, or this is it. I'm 60 years old now. Jesus, my father died at 66. So what do I got? 6 years left? No, you don't have 6 years left unless that's what you start thinking about, or I'm going to work till I die. I retire in 3 years. And you see these the statistics of people who retire and then pass away. It's significant, actually.
My
So,
grandfather, we had the farm, and we sold the farm. He rented the farm back and still continued to farm it. And my grandmother, his wife, was in a wheelchair as long as I knew her. She had arthritis, and all he did was farm and take care of my grandmother. And
God
I
bless.
remember he's just this fantastic. He's a smaller man, just totally loyal, totally devoted to his wife. She would, she'd get upset because she was in a wheelchair and she'd snap at him. And I just remember him walking over and giving her a hug, like he understood that she wasn't mad at him. She was upset with the situation.
Yep.
And when she died, same thing. He died about 2 months after. Just, his reason for living was gone. And I think that's a beautiful story. But I mean, it shows that, if you don't have anything else in your life, then yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those are like the salt of the earth, they call those stuff, right? Salt of the earth, the farmers and whatnot in the country, whether it's in Canada or the United States or around the world, those people, they live off the earth, right? I mean,
talk about being disciplined. I didn't realize how disciplined he was. Like, he took his car out of the garage. He would go get a wet cloth and wipe the car down. It didn't matter if he drove a mile or 100 miles. He'd wipe that car down every time. When he washed his car, he would wash the engine as well. It was just like, it was just totally this. My parents, I'll never forget one time I'd gone to stay with my parents when I was married with kids and everything. We were moving and we had about 2 weeks where we had no place to stay. So we went to stay with my parents. We were driving away, realized we forgot something. So I go back in the house, and they're singing and dancing, and they're vacuuming the house and cleaning the house up. They pull out the refrigerator to vacuum behind the refrigerator, and they're just happy. They're happy we're gone, but they're happy cleaning too. Like their fun was clean. It wasn't sitting around with a couple of cocktails.
Yeah, they were just happy. Listen, they were, there wasn't all the influences of the TV, the radio, social media, all of the happy horse shit, all of the stuff that comes into our lives nowadays.
Yeah,
that people should just realize that they should be in control of what they experience, what they see, what they hear by shutting it off.
Yep.
Shut that stuff off. Don't have it on the whole day.
Right.
I mean, I think gone are the days of playing that stuff all day. Yeah. And like you said, listen to some good music.
Yeah.
That's another thing, the science of music. The beats of music and the megahertz of music can really influence your the way you feel. And it's important.
I like this Dr. Jack more and more all the time. You know that?
What do you say now? Oh, well, yeah.
Both of your life philosophies are most interesting as well.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Jack.
Dr. Jackson, intelligent man.
Yeah. he's a good guy.
Like that.
Yeah, he's definitely.
You know what? I really do. It's. I think we're both realizing how you can influence people, right? Like, you don't have to make these big, huge statements all the time, big declarations. It's showing up every day, showing people how to have the disciplined lifestyle, cheering people on. Thanks, Doc. It's very nice.
Well, what the bottom line though is for me, I've made. Hold on a second, because something's on here. Sorry, bud. I've made a ton of mistakes. Okay, I made a ton of. Anytime I thought I was in control of my own life, and I let ego get in the way, that caused me to make some serious mistakes. And how I reacted to situations too sometimes were incorrect. So as a result of that, though, the thing is, and the older I get, the more I look back, let's say, and learn. Like, not look back with regrets, okay? Because if you look back with regrets, you're going to end up regretting a ton of stuff, right? But what can I learn from it? So I've learned a lot of things, and even throughout my coaching with the kids, which I started after 9/11 and got back into hockey and then started to coach kids. My message to them was about drugs and alcohol. What a waste of time it was, because they all said, "Oh, Aerosmith, what was it like? Tell us about the parties and Motley Crue and Bon Jovi and all those bands that I worked with." And I said, it doesn't really matter, because and this is no BS either. The most fun I ever had was coaching hockey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The most fun I ever had was coaching these guys, and whether it was like a Mite team one year because the Mite coach quit, or obviously coaching at the university. That was the most fun I had, and that's what I told him.
Yes, Bill. He's from the Bronx, so.
Yeah, learned. Yeah, Bill. What am I going to tell you, huh? Over there. I'm from over there.
Down there. Somebody asked me a question the other day. It seems, do you have any regrets? And I paused for a second. I said, you know what? No, I love myself now. I love who I am now. And I don't mean that in the egotistical way. I love who I am, and I'm the way I am because of all the mistakes and all the things that happened to me in my past. So yeah, I don't look back. Yeah, it's easy to look back and say, well, you should have done that or whatever. Yeah. But that's when you're young, you make mistakes. And I think that's a great message for young kids too, that listen, we don't want you to make mistakes. We don't want you to get hurt in any way, but don't be afraid to make mistakes too. Like, go for it and fall down and get up again.
Well, and that's an important thing. The way I looked at it, as somebody who was around and coaching young kids and being involved with running an organization that started at the mite level, which I think the mite level is 6 years old, if I remember correctly. So I was coaching kids from 6 to 25, let's say.
Yeah.
Jesus. And anyway, I don't know why that went off. Sorry. Again. Anyway, I was coaching kids from mites to 25-year-olds. So every end of the spectrum, and you see that prior to this pandemic, it was almost like people were afraid for the kids to have adversity.
Yeah.
Everybody was so tuned into some of the parents, I remember the term they used in society was helicopter parents.
Yeah.
They were afraid that the kid might fall down. They were afraid that the kid might not have a great experience. They were afraid of this and that. And then guess what? Now we had a pandemic. And I know every parent in the world tried as hard as they could to minimize what was going on, but all of these kids have had their adversity. And that's the takeaway, is that they made it through this adversity. This was not easy. They didn't go to school. They had to stay at home. The parents had to stay at home. Everybody, the family, it was hard to even get away from that family unit. And everybody's still, for the most part, everybody's around, still around, and they should pat themselves on the back because they made it through that adversity, hopefully with some good habits. Hopefully they enjoyed their kids. Hopefully they had a chance to relax and unplug and do whatever, So
yeah, I think you're right. There has been some mental health issues to that, but again, as far as
absolutely.
Like surviving it, and totally.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mental health issues, and a lot of people, when you're talking to young people, and I know that somebody asked, are the kids nowadays bankrupt, right? Morally bankrupt or something like that. I don't think so. I think that they just need a little help. They need a little advice. They need to engage in person and get used to that. And I know that you and I, a lot of times, people ask us to help people make a first impression. Walk into a room, head up, eyes up, make eye contact, put your hand out, shake hands, or fist bump because of COVID. Whether you're walking into a tryout, going to the check-in table at a whatever sport you're playing, you should look at the people that are checking you in, and make eye contact, tell them your name, tell them what position, or when they ask you what position, say wherever the coach wants me. So stuff like that. Or when you walk into an office, when you walk into a business meeting, if
you're walking to Costco and you see the name tag on everybody in Costco, they're the same. Say their name, right?
It's a goof to do that. Yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. Why not say good morning?
Yeah,
say good morning, even if the person's miserable. Who cares?
Yeah, you will get some people that are miserable, but don't let that stop you.
Yeah, and don't insult them either. Say, you're gonna have a good day no matter what.
Yeah,
no matter what, you're gonna get
even if you do it 10 times, you get one person that's miserable. Those other 9 people, when you say their name and you look them in the eye and they say, "Hey, how you doing today, brother?" And they're gonna go, "Wow, that's pretty cool, right?"
Absolutely. I know when the pandemic first started, I was left with a bunch of T-shirts, a bunch of positivity T-shirts, like way too many. Okay, and anyway, so I would put them in the car after when I was doing the course at Yale University. One of them was go out of your way to do something extraordinary each day for like a week. Okay, so I would drive around with the T-shirts, and when there was somebody, asking for money, I would say, "Listen, I'm going to put you in business." And I would give him 5 T-shirts. I said, get $10 each for these T-shirts. They're nice T-shirts, and you make $50.
So that's a good idea. Instead of just handing them cash.
Because you don't know what they're going to spend it on. I'm all for. I much rather, if I'm going to do something like that. I don't know, but the truth of the matter is that I'm going to say, if you're hungry, I'm going to walk with you to like wherever and I'll buy you food. I don't want to buy your whiskey or something.
Like I've even said to people, listen, I'm not trying to insult you in any way. I want to make sure I'm not hurting you. I want to be helping you, right? So if you're using this money to buy booze or drugs or whatever, that's not helping you at all. Yeah. And one thing going back to you talking about young people, like I'm a huge believer, and again, you don't have to go to the extreme maybe that I go or you go, but getting out of your comfort zone too. Teaching kids that, okay, listen, it's good to get out of your comfort zone. You will survive, because the reality is you're not perfect, so things will happen to you. You'll make mistakes, and life is not fair. So bad things are going to come your way. And the more prepared you are for that by getting out of the comfort zone yourself. So now when you made a mistake or something bad happens to you, that forces you out of your comfort zone. You don't have a choice. It's how you deal with it. If you're used to being out of your comfort zone, then you're thinking, okay, well, I knew this was coming. I knew bad things are going to happen. I'm ready to go. Let's get it going again. Yeah.
I think it's real important that they do that. They should definitely, if they don't want to, if they don't like talking in public, well, they should find a way to talk in public that is still comfortable, let's say, for lack of a better word. And they should push themselves, or even go to the gym. If you feel like if you're worried about the impression you make when you first walk into the gym because you're not in shape or muscular or whatever, well, you know what? Then learn how to do it at home. If it's, or go find a friend who you can go with.
Right. And even if you're pushing yourself out of comfort zone, you're doing something you don't like doing, even if you make a mistake and screw up, it's even better that way, because then you realize, well, I'm still okay.
Yeah.
I screwed up. I made a mistake. I get up again. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. Fall down 9 times, get up 10, right? That's the old.
See, but okay, I'm going to take you to task there. I see that quote. I'm going to take you to task. You're making a bigger deal about it than it really is. If you fall down once, how many times do you have to get up?
Once. Oh, okay.
Right.
You have to get up
once. 9 times. You only have to get up 9 times.
Yeah, there you go. All right, okay.
Yeah. See, I saw that quote. Wow. See, that's another of those things, though, and I'm picking on a little bit.
So Lao Tzu was like, he was incorrect back then, and he's
didn't think it through.
So let me hear yours. I like that. I'm going to steal it. Go.
Okay, so if you fall down, use the example. Then, if I fall down once, how many times do I have to get up?
Once.
Once. So
no matter how many times you fall down, you only have to get up again.
Same number of times. See, that's just another one of the examples. I think that we get stuck in these things. We make it into a bigger thing than it really is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like the days of the week, like, oh, it's Monday,
Well,
that's an opportunity. And Wednesday isn't hump day. Wednesday's pump day. The hump gives you the idea you're just trying to get through the week. Powering through the week. Pump day.
Well, it's every day. I mean, whatever, and then starts again. So Mondays. I've learned to get rid of Mondays as far as the thing. Oh, it's Monday.
Yeah, like I'd like to think back to like whoever decided to have a 5-day work week and a 2-day fun day.
That's good. We'll have to look into that. I have no idea. But I mean, a lot of people now are going 4 days and 3 days off, right? And if you're a fireman, I mean, the firemen, they work 20, they work one day, some of them 24 hours, and then they have 3 off. So, I mean, that's fascinating too. Yeah. And that's a tough one for one day, 24 hours, that theoretically they could be up the entire 24 hours.
Yeah, my father used to do that. He was a firefighter. We sold the farm. Yeah, he'd do that. Yeah.
Oh, he was, right?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. He started off be a volunteer. We had the farm. So we had a plectron, they called it, in our house. So if there was a fire, it'd be the middle of the night, and this thing would just blare in the middle of the night, get him up.
And wake you all up?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I remember as a kid, so we now know he's going off to a fire, or he's also an ambulance driver, too, volunteer ambulance driver. So we're thinking,
God bless.
Sometimes you're scared for your father because you're thinking, okay, he's not going for a walk around the corner. He's going to something dangerous. And he was always never really got hurt. But he came to me when I was probably 15 years old, asked me if I ever wanted to be a farmer. And all I could dream about was playing the National Hockey. I said, no way. So we sold the farm, became a firefighter. His credit, too, he was a really good example for me. He didn't want to just be a firefighter. He wanted to be a chief. So he went to firefighter school, put the extra work in, became a chief. So another one of those examples where he didn't talk about it. He just did it.
Did it.
Yeah, that was the example I saw all the time. My father and grandfather, the way they acted towards their wives, to the family, to their commitments. If they're going to do something, they were doing it all out. They'd always find a way to get things done. Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. But that's like, and then you carried that on into that's how you made the NHL. You showed up. I mean, come on, you know that. I mean,
I didn't realize that though, Rich. I know we talked about that the other day too. But it is funny though, looking back now. I look back much more fondly at my life, or much more deeply in my life too, figuring out like, okay, why am I the way I am? Why did I act certain ways? And it all goes back to my parents, my father, grandfather. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All the good stuff, all the good stuff came from your parents.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And then once you get out there into college and you get it, I mean, then all the outside influences come, and at times, even 15% of what they throw at you is not beneficial to you in the long run.
That's a good saying here, Bill. Apple trees make apples. Nice.
Oh, look at him.
Very nice, Bill. Bill's a firefighter too. Correct. They keep getting wrong with his police firefighter. He's
is he a firefighter? That's awesome.
Yeah. He's not a very nice guy, but I do.
He's a great guy. Listen, he follows you, he makes comments and whatnot. Are you kidding me?
He's always picking on me, though, Rich. I've got.
Yeah, but you know what? No matter what, God forbid your place goes on fire, a guy like him's coming to get you out.
No question. Yeah.
I mean,
both your parents. We lost both your parents. Are they alive still?
Yeah, no, they're both gone. My father battled prostate cancer for 10 years, and then finally, it just ate him up alive. I mean, it attacked his spinal cord, so he was done. Yeah, so that was a tough one. And I used to, But you know what? When it happened, I used to drive him to get these these IV infusions back in like the early 2000s, 2008, I think is when it happened. Anyway, and I used to drive him to that, and we had some fun because we would lay in these recliner chairs and get these IV infusions, and then right after we got out of there, he would go, let's go across the street to the restaurant. I want to get a Manhattan, and I want to have some pasta fagioli soup. Like he would immediately throw alcohol in, and then my mom, my poor mom, at the end, she I mean, she was great. She ran one of my businesses, you know, and she had a ball with it. She used to just keep everybody in line. She was tough, right? But long story short, at the end, she was at a rehab center, and in Greenwich, the one in Greenwich. Yeah, by Brunswick Academy.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So she was at that. But if you refuse to rehab 3 days in a row and she wouldn't work out anymore, she said, "I'm not doing it anymore." Then they put you in the assisted living, like in the place next door, you know. Right. And the last couple of times I went there, like she was you know, she said, "This is a lovely place. They really snap to attention when you come in because they know you're the owner." Stuff like that. And she would tell everybody, yeah. So, but she was great.
Over on King Street, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's a nice place. Yeah. And so she passed in 2017. Yeah. And your mom passed.
My mother, she died 26, 27 years ago. She had breast cancer.
Terrible.
Then she was in remission, then came back again. She had about 5 years there where she was in and out of the hospital. It was, you know, I don't want to influence anybody else about making decisions, but she did all the treatments, and I actually felt the treatments were worse than the cancer itself. It got to the end there where she was laying in bed one time, and her leg broke just laying in bed.
Yeah,
I guess you can't quit, but you know, and the healthcare system in Canada is a little bit different. Obviously, it's the universal healthcare, so sometimes the wait's a little bit longer for surgeries and everything. And I urged them to come down here. It would have cost a lot more money, obviously, but you know, they did their thing. And then my father, he died about 11 years ago. He had dementia when he passed away. That was sad too, because you know, he was this big, active, sharp guy, great personality, fun guy, and at the end, he just obviously was right up. But I guess you know, I helped with a Alzheimer's walk 2 years ago, I guess it was, and so you're around all the people and they tell all the stories. It's really harder on the families than it is for the person with the Alzheimer's or dementia. It's
right,
because they're so out of it, they just don't know what's going on. But
it's tough.
He's a good man, I'll tell you. It's really, I know we've talked about this before, and I just, I it's such a big part of my life. I like to think about every day, really, how I didn't realize what a great influence he was on me when I was younger. It's now I realize how lucky he was. So.
Yeah. Well, listen, at least we're lucky. You know, I'm grateful that we even realize it now.
Yeah, it's true. Is that true? Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt. So at least we're honoring their memory because they did some great things. That's even with my grandparents, for Pete's sakes.
Sure. You know, I think you're the same way with your kids too. My two sons, Cody and Shane, they're 29 and 32 now. And I'm so proud of them too. I'm hoping some of the things that, you know, carried through from my father, grandfather, from me to them, they're their own men. They're totally independent. Shane, actually, he works for a cannabis company out of Canada. He's their director of investor relations. He's over in Israel right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
They're playing over there. Cody's doing fantastic. He's awesome. He works for Cody works for a real estate development company. They also do all kind of funding and stuff like that too. He's got like 150 people underneath him working for him. So yeah, smarter than their father, that's for sure.
Well, that's easy, right? For you and me. Not for you. I'm talking for myself. Believe me. I showed my kids what not to do.
I know that's true,
basically. So God bless them. Somehow they made it in life and they're doing well.
Two sons, correct?
Yeah, two, Louis and Nick. Yeah, Louis is the one that you were around the most.
Yeah.
Louis, who basically started playing hockey like last year at Pee Wee, like second year at Pee Wee, and then he played with us on those teams, and he tried. He's a hard worker. You know what the funny thing, Tom, is? He coached. He coached before he started, you know, before he got his job in technology, but he coached for the Mariners with this other guy, Pete Thomas, who is a great guy. And he's actually the Rye High School coach. Okay. The two of them coached together. They coached the squirt team. My son, I was proud of him. Louis was a great hockey coach. He really was, you know, and Nicky is just a brainiac when it comes to the economy. I really can't. Yeah. And he's one of those guys where he'll lecture me. Or like it starts as a discussion, ends up as a lecture, and it's almost like he's talking down to me. You know what I mean? So I can't even talk to him about it. You know?
How old are they again?
Louis at 33, Nick's 29. Yeah. So
Same as
it's pretty funny. Yeah. And he's the e-bug for the Rangers. So he, not every game, but if there's 41 home games, he'll dress or be ready to dress. Maybe like, I don't know, whatever, 18 or whatever the hell it is, the amount. And it's cool. I went a couple of times. You sit up in the press box, Yeah. It's funny. It is
funny how, like, my sons are the same way too. They're very polite, respectful, and like that, but they're very intelligent men. So sometimes they get lecturing me about stuff, but it is funny when your sons are sitting there lecturing you. And
oh yeah, because basically they're looking at us like, you know what?
Yeah,
we don't know anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it, and like I think I told you about, I don't know, a couple of months ago I had an epiphany with my father, and I actually told him, I says, you know what, Dad, if you think I was laughing at you all this time, you were so right. It's amazing how as you get older, your father actually, some of the things he did, shows that he wasn't as stupid as you think.
I know. It is funny. They make fun of me too. So I think it told us, well, Shane, when he was going off to college, so I think it was the first time he was flying off on his own for a visit at college, went to Michigan State. So I got him off the airport LaGuardia. And I was fine. I wasn't emotionally like that, but I got him off to the airport. I walked in with him, and he now walks through the security line, and he's walking away, and I start getting teary-eyed.
Oh, yeah.
It hit me also. I guess I realized, okay, he's leaving. And he turned around and saw me crying, and he gives me a hard time all the time. And I was like, oh, boo, boo.
That's great. Yeah. You should show your soft side, and they take advantage of it.
I know. Oh, yeah. And then I had to make the speech the night before they were getting married at the rehearsal dinner.
Nice.
Get married. And I rehearsed the speech several times, and I'd always start crying every time I got to the point.
Oh, for Christ's sakes! I know. You're a public speaker. That's good. Hey, listen, you got emotion. What's somebody going to say to you?
But I got to the point where he knew it was coming. There, okay, this is the point where it's either going to cry or not. And he goes, "Okay, here we go." He's making fun of me before I start crying. I had a little teary eye, but I held it back pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's funny with Cody too. I think I can't remember if I told the story on here, but was when he dislocated his elbow and I had to drop him off at the.
No, go ahead. Let me hear this.
So we were outside playing, and he fell down, and his elbow snapped the wrong way. So now he comes to the front door, he knocks on the door, and I look out, and he's standing there with the elbow the wrong direction. So I get him to the hospital. I was pretty composed getting him to the hospital. And I needed to be calm because he's asking questions like, "Is my arm going to fall off?" and all this stuff. Yeah. So I'm trying to show, no, you're fine. Totally confident. Got him into the emergency room. The nurses and doctors are all around. So I guess I felt like, okay, my job was then done. I got him there safely under control and everything like that. And again, I started crying again.
And you're a softie, Laidlaw. Laidlaw's soft.
I guess when it comes to my boys, I have it. And so they're getting them all drugged and everything. So they can grab the arm and snap it back in place. Yeah. And he sees me crying and he starts going, boo.
Good for him.
Oh, he gave it to me pretty good.
Good for him. They're good kids. We're lucky as far as that goes. Well, listen, before we go, I just want to remind everybody.
Yep.
Subscribe, because we don't have the end caps on this like most.
I know. So just so you know, Rich is trying to push me, and I've got to do a better job of getting the YouTube channel.
We just have to do it together. Stop. You don't have to do anything. It's all good.
Again, subscribe. So everybody, I think it's important. We've talked about this, Rich and I, that it's show your HP. The suicide hotline is now 988 if anybody needs any help or anything like that. And again, we really encourage everyone out there, if you see somebody you think is in need, don't be afraid to go to them and ask them how they're doing. So
yeah, it's important, and any fallacy about saying, well, if you ask somebody about it, it's going to cause them to do it, that basically has been told that that's not the truth. Okay. Right. So yeah, that 988, it's important. Call us. Reach out to us for any situations you might be in if you want help getting pushed in the right direction. But when it comes to suicide, Tom and I are not suicide counselors. And
you can contact us if you want, but we'll direct you to the 988. Yeah. Yep.
But we'll listen and help you. And you know what? All you got to do is try to get to sleep and wake up the next day. This too shall pass, but you need more than that. You know what I'm saying? Life is beautiful, right? Life is beautiful. It's something to enjoy. Yep. And even if you're not in a position right now to do that, just keep going, keep getting up, and keep marching forward, and
keep moving.
Better things will occur. All right, Tom.
All right, brother. Good to see you again. We'll see you next week.
Bye.